I saw the photo on my phone and froze. My fingers tightened around the screen. There he was, my dad, smiling like the proud patriarch, holding a sign that read, "So proud my son got his master's degree." Only, it wasn't my brother. It wasn't me. I was 20 years into hauling steel and pouring concrete, sending him $800 every month with a smile, because that's what family does. And all along, he'd been telling me, real men don't need college. I remember the first time I pushed through the front door of his house, sweaty from work, hoping to share a small triumph. I'd scraped together enough to fix his leaking roof. His words had cut me deeper than the winter wind on the job site. "Stop worrying about school, kid. College is for dreamers. You're a man already." And I believed him. I believed him while skipping classes I could barely afford, while carrying my brother's tuition in my head like a debt I'd never be allowed to repay. The betrayal didn't hit at first. No, it seeped in, subtle. Invitations to family dinners where I showed up in boots and a hard hat, only to hear him praise my brother for grades I'd never see. The little slips, a congratulatory text meant for my brother that he forwarded with a smile, never realizing I'd notice. At first I thought maybe I was imagining it. I didn't want to see it. I had enough work in my hands to ignore feelings. But then my cousin sent that photo. That one perfect, damning frame. I didn't react immediately. I studied it. The background told me he'd been hiding this for months. The pride on his face, the sign, the gathering. My stomach went cold. But anger? I left it in the corner of my mind, neat and contained. You don't confront someone like that in heat. You plan. I started by cataloging every injustice, every lie he'd told me, every dollar I'd sent him. I traced his accounts, legal loopholes, property titles, tax filings. I stayed quiet. I worked my hours, saved my cash, and kept my head down. Every interaction became a chess move. If he wanted to play the hero at family events, I'd be the storm behind the curtain. I bought my degree online, legitimately, fully accredited. It cost me nothing compared to what I'd lost: time, effort, belief. But it gave me credibility. I built a network quietly, assembling evidence of his manipulations, his financial mismanagement, his bragging about things that weren't his achievements. I wanted him to fall cleanly, publicly, with no chance to spin it. The night of the confrontation, I walked into the family home, not as the laborer with calloused hands, but as the architect of his exposure. My dad didn't recognize the confidence in my stride. I laid everything out on the table: emails, bank statements, the proof of how much I'd supported him, all juxtaposed against his years of lies about my need for education. He laughed at first. The arrogance was a reflex. "You're still angry over that?" he said, dismissive. I let him breathe that air for a moment. Then I showed him the other piece: my degree, my credentials, my accolades. And then, the final blow. A letter I'd sent to his colleagues, his friends, detailing the financial discrepancies, the manipulations, and attaching the photo my cousin had sent me. The silence after that was deafening. He tried to speak, tried to charm, but I had removed the stage. No one was laughing at my anger. No one could dismiss the evidence. His pride crumbled, and I stood there, calm, measured, finally tasting the justice I'd waited for 20 years to savor. Walking out, I felt a lightness I hadn't known since childhood. Not triumph exactly, relief, empowerment. The betrayal had burned me, but I'd learned to channel it, to construct a masterpiece from anger. Every brick I'd laid on construction sites had trained me for this: patience, precision, endurance. I no longer sent him money. I no longer sought his approval. But I kept the photo. Not for revenge, it had already served its purpose, but as a reminder of what restraint and strategy can achieve. Betrayal is heavy, but when you outmaneuver it, when you let it burn quietly while you build, the aftermath feels clean. He'll smile at my brother's graduations, he'll pose with signs, he'll pat shoulders and offer advice, and I'll nod politely because I know something he'll never understand. Real strength isn't in who believes you, it's in who you become when no one does. And for once, I don't need anyone to tell me I'm a man. I built that. I earned that. And he built nothing but a perfect illusion.